Education is really important, and it's really important that everyone can access it. However, not at the expense of physical and mental health. We need a plan B and we need it now.
I support Plan B because every young person in the UK should have equal access to education, whether in school or learning from home. For this to occur, staff need the time and the resources to provide quality blended learning, and every young person should have access to working technology. We are failing if quality education is only available to those privileged enough to pay for it.
I'm so proud of our profession at the moment, the way that we've all stepped up and did what we need to do to get our schools up and our children in, support our staff and our communities. But our stamina is running out. We're going into the cold winter months. We're worried about funding, about assessments, about supporting our staff and our communities. We need a plan B and we need it now.
Plan B means to me that I am safe at work, my colleagues are safe at work, the students are safe at work, and I don't bring COVID home to my family.
If the government really cared about education, then they would be routinely testing education staff to keep us in our schools with our students. If they really cared about education, then they would be serious about implementing proper measures and listening to education workers so that the exams fiasco of 2020 doesn't repeat itself in 2021. If they really cared about education, they'd listen to us about more space and more resources and blended learning and making sure that students have the IT facilities that they need at home. We need a plan B and we need it now.
We need a plan B because children with SEND had the toughest time in lockdown. Most of them didn't access online learning. Most of them didn't get into the emergency schooling that was offered. A plan B would mean that there is a plan to ensure that they can learn in safety, and that's essential.
My plan B is important to me so that all my students that have worked really hard are allowed to achieve the grade that they deserve.
Okay, so plan B to me means keeping schools open and educating our kids, but in a way that doesn't accelerate the spread of a deadly virus. I guess it also means rejecting this idea that, we have to choose as cases rise between protecting each other and having a proper education.
Plan B means regular testing for all education workers, everyone that works in an educational setting, including childcare. The government to actually listen to us and to listen to teachers and any education workers, and for there to be fair testing systems for all students in any education setting.
A plan B is important for me to make sure schools have everything we need to support our young people.
We need a plan B to keep staff safe.
Plan B is important to me so that we can fund education properly through the crisis.
Plan B is important to me because students' wellbeing must be placed at the centre of how we adapt education in response to the pandemic.
My name is Max Toynbee. I'm an NEU co-rep at a secondary school in Lambeth. We desperately need a plan B as infection rates rise in order to protect the education of our students and, more importantly, protect the public health of students, staff and all they come into contact with. We need to find out what our plan B is going to be.
We need a plan B to protect school staff, students and the wider community. Because any meaningful education is flexible and can be caught up on, whilst we can't yet bring people back from the dead.
We need a plan B to keep staff and our loved ones safe.
Plan B is important to me to keep our staff safe, especially those who are vulnerable or who have vulnerable members of family at home.
We need a plan B so I can complete my training year.
We need a plan B so we can keep schools open because it's a children's safe place.
I vote plan B because being on the vulnerable list, it will give me the opportunity to be able to work from home.
I think we need a plan B because disadvantaged children and young people must not be victims of this crisis. They have to be a key priority.
Thousands of students and staff across the country are in isolation because of COVID-19. They've contracted it or been exposed to it at schools. We need a plan B now for students and staff to be kept safe. We need regular testing, extremely clinically vulnerable staff to be able to work from home, and clear trigger points for closures. Solidarity.
I support Plan B to enable us to continue with educating our young people and trying to keep the whole community safe.
As a retired teacher and as an active member of the NEU, I value education. As a retired teacher and as an active member of the NEU, I also value the health and safety of children, of school staff and of the wider community. That's why I think it's essential that we have a plan B that takes both these factors into account.
We need a plan B for our schools. We need Nightingale schools opened, temporary schools that can alleviate the pressure on the already open schools, more staff directly employed by schools so that we can cut class sizes and ensure that social distancing can be maintained.